Hello. Hello, good people, and welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time here, my name is Jazz, and these videos, they're pretty much completely random in the sense that they come from whatever questions I receive from my Instagram family. Okay. So if you want to submit a question, you can go ahead and drop one in the comments, or you can follow me on Instagram. And my DMs are always open. I love having conversations with you guys. So feel free to ask away. Some people just like hearing my take on things, some people just like hearing my story. I don't know. I don't know what the people get from it, but I'm happy to give it, and we're all having a good time. So let's get into it. Today's video is about the things that I as Jasmine, I as a woman, me, wish that men understood. And I'm emphasizing that because these are things that I wish men understood based on my own feelings, my own personality, my own experience. Now, are there some things that other women will hear from this video and be like, yeah, girl, I agree, or whatever? Sure. But this is not me speaking for all women. This is just me talking. I guess to get started, there really is something that can be said about how men and women are just different, right? So, as I think about the things that I wish men understood, I am very clear about the fact that there are things that you all wish that we understood. There's always going to be some type of difference, some type of push and pull factor when it comes to us both, because the reality is no one can fully understand anybody unless you walk a mile in their shoes. And I am not a man. I don't identify as a man. I don't ever want to be a man. I love being a woman, and I understand that with that, there are some blinders, there are some biases that I would have when it comes to what it is to be a man. First things first is that I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to take advantage of you. I don't want to use you. I don't want to misuse you, abuse you. I don't want to hurt you. And I wanted to start there because I feel like in my little experience that I've had in dealing with men is there is a certain fear about being mishandled by women. Now where that fear comes from is individual based, I imagine. I mean, one could say that it's from a mother wound, some can say it's from a father wound, some could say it's just flat out abandonment, or just the actual hands-on experience of a woman being complete trash to you, all of which are valid experiences. But just as men try to encourage women, and I've even heard this myself, to not loop all of your bad experiences together, that's what I need you all to take your own advice. I need you all to take your own advice because I can't show you that I'm not here to hurt you unless you allow me to show you that I'm not here to hurt you. And if the idea of me hurting you or misusing you is that consuming, if you feel like you're going to be completely taken advantage of or whatever, then you need to stop talking to women altogether. That's just my opinion. You need to take a break, talk to the lady, give yourself a reset, maybe change locations. Maybe the women in your area are trash. Maybe the women in your area reflect that which has triggered you, or it's just this terrible reminder of an experience you've had. Maybe all the women in your area remind you of your mother and you hate her. I don't know. But if that type of feeling consumes you, I wish that men understood that it's perfectly fine to take a break and to step back. You don't have to force yourself to date. You don't have to force yourself to be, that guy. You don't have to do anything that you're not ready to do. Another thing that I wish men understood is that being a woman in a man's presence is a very vulnerable position. And I'm not just talking about on the physical front. I know there's like this big debate about would you choose the man or choose the bear? I'm not going to get into that. But there is a certain type of vulnerability being in your presence. I believe that masculinity is the epitome of strength and divine in nature. And the way femininity rests upon the shoulders of masculinity is it's a complicated thing. It's hard being in the vulnerable position, leaning on that which you are meant to lean on, and that which you are meant to lean on is like shaky, you know? And there's only but so many words and so many actions and so many things one can do to uplift a man to where he would be willing to just do what it is he's called to do. Now, I will say this: if you don't believe as a man you are called to protect, provide, or do any of those things, that is perfectly fine. I am not talking to you. But for those of you who know deep down inside that you have this call to protect, provide, to lead, to care for, and in return, you want someone to support you and nurture you and all those kinds of things, you have to understand that some of that strength has to already be there before I come on the scene. Some of that know how, some of that get up and go, some of that initiative and boldness has to already be there before I get on the scene. I am not made to raise a man. I am not made to build a man, shape a man. All I can do is support what is there. And I know that's probably going to be controversial for some, but I'm going to stand 10 toes down on it. I am not a build a man workshop. Okay. I am not a rehabilitation center. Okay. If I have to do all of that, at that point, I'm my own man. And I don't want to be my own man. I don't. I don't want to be my own man. And that is the position I feel like a lot of men push women into intentionally or unintentionally. And it's causing a lot of tension, and it's causing just a spirit of defeat, quite frankly, when it comes to attempting to date, getting to know, even in having male friendships. After a while, those don't even feel as supportive and as uplifting as they should feel. In that same vein of being a woman and how vulnerable that position is, when you have children with a woman, I want you to understand that it is very heartbreaking and very unnerving to be in a situation where, for all intents and purposes, you did this to me. Okay? You did this to me, and now you're mad because of what you did to me. That is tough. And I know that for a lot of guys, it's like, I don't have to be with you if I don't have to be with you to be a good father. And that is true. That is 1,000% true. But understand that the source of pain comes from the fact that the idea of me being with you was not first based on whether or not you could be a good father. The idea of me being with you is first based on the idea that you would be good to me, thus being good to the offspring. And when that gets broken up, it's tough. It's a tough blow to a woman. Like, it is a tough blow. Because truth of the matter, you would never go through such a life altering, high risk situation for somebody you knew, absolutely knew, didn't give a damn about you. Now, there are some women, and this is why I had to say with this video, this is me talking, because there are some women now who will know a guy for 2 seconds and be shocked that he's like, I don't want this baby. And then she keeps it anyway. I don't understand those women. I pray for those women, but I'm not one of those women. Okay. I'll never understand meeting a man, having a one night stand, having a fling that is very superficial and being shocked that he doesn't want the child nor you, or being shocked that he's willing to be a good father but not get with you. I don't know. That's another subject for another day. But all that to say, in the standard situation of being together, going as far as getting married, being together long term, having children, and then switching up, that is a big blow. I labored. I put my body on the line. I put my life on the line for you to now tell me that it means nothing. I really do wonder if men understand how painful that is. Another thing that I wish men understood coming from me is that I want to see you all win. And not in a pick Misha kind of way. I know that's like a term that gets thrown around these days. I got called a pick Misha on TikTok because I made a comment about wanting men to be clean and like how women are crazy for choosing obvious red flags. I don't know. So anyway, since that term's been thrown around, I just want to clarify, not in a pick Misha kind of way, but I really do want to see you all win. I want to see you stand in your full glory. I want to see you healthy and I want to see you take care of yourselves and be there for yourselves in a way that allows you to love properly. I want you to be honest about your past fears and pains. And even if you don't feel totally comfortable sharing them with me, don't be afraid to go do the work. You know, go to therapy, go to some private group sessions, surround yourselves with men who inspire you, who are in some level of mentorship and accountability partner. Like, I want to see y'all win. I wish men understood that coming from me, I don't expect you to feel like you want to tell me everything or you need to tell me everything. What I do expect is for you to be honest to the point where I can trust you enough to know that whatever it is you're not telling me is not from a place of deceit, but more so a place of protection, and that you truly do have my best interest at heart. Not that BS where you're hiding it because you don't want to get in trouble or you're trying to take away from my choices, but from a place of, no, I got this. Maybe you share a piece with me, but you go trauma dump on the therapist, you know, or you go get that support that you need that you can't quite get within a relationship. And I know that's a whole nother subject too, is that there are some things that we can't get in our relationships. I don't care what anybody says. Your partner, your spouse is not going to be 100% of everything that you need. They can't, because they aren't you. They aren't in your brain. You know, they're not walking in your shoes from day to day. They've heard about your childhood experiences, but they didn't live them. So I don't expect someone to feel like they can get 100% of what they need out of me. Now I'm going to do my best. I'm going to put forth my absolute best effort, but I'm not crazy. I know that there are some conversations that are best had with other men. There are some conversations that are best had with non biased parties, professionals. And that's okay, because it's the same thing for me. Same thing for us as women. Sometimes you need that girl group. Sometimes you need that therapist, that counselor, that church group, whatever it is you're part of, that volunteer effort, that extra hobby that you have that's just yours. Wishman understood that that's okay. I just want to see you win. I just want to see you win. I want to see you again step into that power, the fullness of who you are. I want to see you be bold and courageous and successful. And by success, I don't mean making a whole lot of money. Of course, it's nice. That's always nice. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you feeling whole, having a good relationship with your creator, knowing what you were made for, not even just as a man, but even as a person on this planet. Like, that's something I wish you all understood. Get out here and be whole. Get out here and be healed. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Do all of those things. Just don't neglect responsibility. And I know that it's a lot of different things out here in our, especially in our country. Our country, it's not the easiest to to thrive here, man or woman, half the time. But keep pushing. And if you don't have a woman in your corner or women in your corner that push you and encourage you, and I'm not talking about that mama stuff, because your mama, unless you just got a crummy mama, your mother gonna encourage you no matter what you do. She'll encourage you while you sitting your ass on her couch at 45. Okay, so no, we're not talking about that. We know your mama love you, but do you have women who are seriously speaking life into who you need to be, who you say you want to be? I wish men understood how important that is, because we need you. We need each other. And it's hard nowadays with so many relationship divide things going on, and I wish men understood that not every woman thinks that way. Not every woman sees you as a paycheck. Not every woman thinks that you're useless. Not every woman thinks that all of you cheat, even though a good bit of you are. I'll be fighting for my life every day in my DMs with some of these stories, but not every woman thinks the worst of you. Not every woman thinks the worst of you, and I need you to know that. I need you to know that. And one last thing I want to tackle before I end this video is that there's a lot of talk going around about how men don't really like women anymore. Um Now I will say I've been having some experiences that would support that claim. But look, I don't know, I'm not a man. But I will say I do wish that men understood that, like I said in the beginning, we are different. So some of the things you expect from me aren't possible, just like some of the things that you feel like women are expecting from you aren't possible. And I want us to get back to the place of loving each other for the differences that we bring to the table. No, I'm not one of your homeboys. No, I'm not ready to do all the homeboy activities. Now, some women are, but I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to do all those things, gaming and all this extra stuff, just so we can have something in common. I'm not. It's either you see me as a valuable woman that you want in your space or you don't, right? And honestly, I think it's unfair to expect a woman to do all of those homeboy things, because it does sort of indicate or point to the fact that maybe you don't really like women, you just like them on a sexual level, but you enjoy, the other qualities you see in men. So, look, I don't know. Like I said, that's just my take on it. I ain't no professional. I don't know. But all of it to say, I want you to win. So that's the end of this video. So if I hope you liked it, go ahead and like the video, share, comment, do whatever it is you want to do. Follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of the Instagram family and have more of these chats and conversations and questions. Have a great day.